At the heart of the Andromeda Educational Alliance, a grand university floated between two stars. Known for its commitment to fostering interspecies cooperation and knowledge, it welcomed students from planets in distant galaxies, each with unique biology, culture, and values. But today, something unprecedented was unfolding. The corridors buzzed with the anticipation of an event that transcended the routine mix of alien faces. Today, the university would welcome its first-ever human exchange student from Earth. Earth, or Deathworld, as it was called among the stars, carried a fearsome reputation. With its relentless natural disasters, predatory creatures, and microscopic threats that could level entire populations, Earth was a place of legend. It was considered by many to be one of the most unforgiving planets for sentient life to evolve. And yet, humans had not only survived but also created sprawling civilizations, developed powerful technologies, and even reached the stars. For many students at the university, just hearing about Earth's dangers sparked both awe and horror. Word of the humans' arrival had spread fast, drawing a crowd of alien students from nearly every corner of campus. They crowded the landing bay, their diverse forms, scales, feathers, and translucent skin, jostling for a view. Whispers, some excited and others laced with nervousness, filled the air. "Can they really survive lightning storms without protective casings?" murmured a blue-skinned Metarian, known for living on a planet where thunderstorms were myth. "I heard their ocean creatures eat them alive," squeaked an Arcturon, whose own aquatic ancestors were strictly herbivores. "They can't really live on a world with tectonic activity, can they?" questioned a Graxlian, whose home planet's surface was solid as steel. Finally, the ship docked. A brief silence fell over the crowd as the ramp lowered, and a figure emerged, just one, surprisingly ordinary by human standards. Dressed in a simple jumpsuit with a small pack slung over one shoulder, he looked more like a tired traveler than the fabled Deathworlder they had expected. The human blinked as he took in the scene, seemingly unfazed by the sheer diversity of alien beings waiting for him. His expression held a hint of amusement, though he remained calm, showing no sign of intimidation. His relaxed demeanor only heightened the alien's interest. Rumors about humans being either thrill-seekers or unmatched survivors suddenly felt real. This human, walking calmly into the unknown without any visible weapons or armor, was as fascinating as he was perplexing. As the human was led to his quarters, the alien students hung back, staring with a mix of curiosity and apprehension. They observed his every move, eager to understand what kind of being could thrive on a world so chaotic and violent. Some even glanced at each other, as if daring one another to approach. One student, a daring young Aslanian with shimmering green scales, finally broke the silence, stepping forward. "Excuse me, human," he stammered. "Is it true that you come from a world where even the plants can be deadly?" The human paused, looking over with a slight smile. "Oh, that? Yeah. A lot of them. Some sting, some bite, and some can kill you just from a touch." He shrugged, as if discussing the weather. The crowd of aliens gasped, their fascination deepening. For a species that had endured a death world, the humans seemed alarmingly relaxed. The galaxy was about to get a close look at just what made humans so unique. The university's common hall hummed with the excited energy of students gathered around the human exchange student. With wide eyes and eager gestures, they bombarded him with questions, determined to unlock the mystery of Earth and its infamous dangers. Known across the galaxy as a death world, Earth was rumored to be teeming with deadly threats unimaginable to most alien species. The alien students couldn't fathom how anyone could survive, let alone thrive, in such a hostile environment. "Tell us, human," a tall, spindly Phyrexian with translucent skin asked, "what are the most dangerous things on Earth? Is it true your oceans have predators that devour your kind?" The human smiled, scratching his head. "Well, I suppose you're talking about sharks. They're apex predators, but they don't hunt humans on purpose. In fact, you're more likely to be struck by lightning than attacked by a shark." The crowd gasped, their shock doubling as he casually dropped another strange danger: lightning strikes. On most of their planets, the idea of electricity flashing across the sky was unheard of. Lightning? You mean electric energy from your atmosphere? An Aslanian with shimmering green scales stammered. His people viewed electricity as a volatile force, used sparingly and only within controlled environments. The thought of it striking down from the sky, seemingly at random, was chilling. Oh, yeah, thunderstorms are pretty common in some regions. We get hurricanes, too. Massive storms that form over warm oceans, creating winds strong enough to rip buildings apart. The human continued, as if describing nothing more unusual than a passing rain shower. The students exchanged horrified looks, their minds reeling as they tried to picture a storm that could reduce structures to rubble. The human went on, listing threats with a nonchalance that seemed almost surreal to his audience. He spoke of earthquakes that could split the ground open, volcanic eruptions that spewed rivers of molten lava, and wildfires that devoured entire forests. He explained how Earth's crust was constantly shifting, causing natural disasters that altered entire landscapes. But what about the creatures? A young Terranian asked, her tentacles quivering in anticipation. Are there really animals that hunt you? The human nodded. Yeah, we've got some dangerous animals, big cats like tigers and lions, for instance. They're powerful predators, but they don't usually go after humans unless they're desperate. Then there are snakes with venom that can kill in minutes, insects that carry deadly diseases, and, of course, the microorganisms like bacteria and viruses that can make us very sick if we're not careful. The alien's mouths hung open in silent terror as he spoke. To them, these micro-threats were unthinkable. Their planets had few infectious agents, and the idea of something invisible that could kill was nightmarish. Despite the fear in their eyes, the human seemed oddly calm, shrugging as if discussing mere inconveniences. Honestly, it's just part of life for us. We've found ways to live alongside most of these things. After a while, you just get used to it. The crowd stared in stunned silence, trying to reconcile this relaxed human with the horrors he described. For students who came from worlds where the environment was predictable and dangers were rare, Earth seemed like a planet out of a nightmare. Yet here stood a human, born and raised among these threats, speaking of them as casually as one might speak of a breeze. As the last of his words hung in the air, the students could only wonder. What kind of species could live on a planet like Earth without constant fear? And more importantly, what did that say about humans? As the alien sat entranced, the human continued to share tales that revealed the essence of humanity, resilience in the face of adversity. He leaned forward, his voice steady and animated, as he recounted stories that spanned centuries of human innovation and exploration. Let me tell you about the great earthquakes in history, he began. In places like California, entire cities have been reduced to rubble in seconds. But instead of giving up, humans rebuilt, stronger and smarter. We learned to design buildings that sway instead of break, to use materials that can withstand tremors. Every disaster teaches us something valuable. The alien students listened intently, their eyes wide with fascination. They had never encountered a species that could learn from its failures so effectively. It seemed almost miraculous to them that humans could turn destruction into a catalyst for growth. Then there are the explorers, he continued, shifting the tales of those who ventured into the unknown. Take the polar explorers, for instance. They braved the frozen tundras of Antarctica, where temperatures can drop to lethal lows. They faced blizzards and frostbite, yet they discovered new lands and charted routes that would connect our world. Their stories are filled with courage and determination, with people willing to risk everything to push the boundaries of human knowledge. The students murmured among themselves, captivated by the human spirit of adventure and inquiry. To them, the idea of willingly facing such extreme conditions was unfathomable. It sparked a realization. Humans were not merely surviving. They were actively seeking out challenges, thriving on the edge of what was possible. Moreover, the human added, We've harnessed our environment through technology and ingenuity. When faced with diseases that could wipe out entire populations, scientists worked tirelessly to develop vaccines and treatments. The first smallpox vaccine, for instance, saved millions of lives and paved the way for modern medicine. This isn't just survival. It's a commitment to life. As he spoke, the aliens began to understand that humanity's responses to its environment weren't born out of mere necessity, but were deeply intertwined with their culture and identity. The inventions that emerged, fire for warmth, the wheel for transport, and advanced medicine, were not just tools. They were symbols of humanity's relentless spirit. He shared how the harshness of Earth's environment had molded humans into a species that solved problems and adapted with remarkable creativity. Our challenges have made us resourceful and curious, he explained. Every time we face adversity, we learn, innovate, and grow stronger. It's a cycle of exploration and discovery. It drives us to push our limits and to understand the universe. The aliens, mesmerized, began to see a different side of humanity. They realized that each harrowing tale the human told was not just about survival, but about embracing curiosity and adaptability. The human experience was one of resilience forged through trials, an ethos that echoed throughout their stories of exploration and ingenuity. By the time he finished his narratives, the atmosphere in the room had shifted. The fear and apprehension that had initially surrounded the concept of Deathworld began to dissipate. Instead, a newfound respect for humanity emerged, born from the understanding that every challenge faced was a stepping stone toward greatness. The aliens, now spellbound, felt inspired, recognizing in the human tales a reflection of their own potential to face the unknown with courage and creativity. The atmosphere in the university had transformed dramatically since the arrival of the human exchange student. Inspired by his tales of resilience and ingenuity, the alien students were motivated to compile their experiences and observations into a comprehensive report. They named it Deathworlder Psychology and Human Resilience, a fitting tribute to the surprising lessons they had learned about humanity. As the alien students gathered in the grand hall, their excitement was palpable. They prepared to present their findings to professors and peers, eager to share the insights they had gained. Each student contributed their perspectives, combining their diverse backgrounds to create a multifaceted understanding of what it meant to be human. When the day of the presentation arrived, the hall was packed with eager listeners. The Phyrexian, who had first asked the human about predators, took the lead, summarizing the key points. What we once viewed as terrifying truths about Earth have become lessons in adaptability. Humans thrive in environments filled with danger, using challenges as catalysts for innovation and exploration. With each slide displayed on the great screen, the students highlighted stories of survival, from overcoming natural disasters to pioneering medical advancements. They showcase humans not as victims of their environment, but as remarkable problem solvers whose experiences shaped their societies. The audience listened in rapt attention, their perceptions of humanity evolving with every story shared. As the presentation concluded, the professors and students alike were left in awe. The notion that Earth's harsh conditions had fostered such incredible resilience resonated deeply within the audience. It became clear that humanity's strength lay not just in surviving their planet's challenges, but in their ability to adapt, innovate, and continuously seek knowledge. News of the presentation quickly spread throughout the galactic network, captivating beings across countless worlds. The tales of human endurance and resourcefulness began to inspire a wave of introspection in alien societies. Civilizations that had once regarded their own harsh environments with fear and trepidation began to see them through a new lens. The human stories ignited a spark of curiosity and courage, encouraging societies to embrace their challenges rather than shy away from them. On planets where droughts, storms, or extreme temperatures were commonplace, communities began to brainstorm solutions inspired by human innovation. The Graxian inhabitants, known for their solid, steel-like landscapes, started initiatives to explore their own harsh terrains, finding ways to make them habitable. The Arcturans, previously fearful of their deep-sea predators, organized explorations to understand and coexist with their ocean's creatures. In the wake of these transformations, humanity's reputation began to shift from that of reckless adventurers to courageous innovators. The human exchange student became a living legend, a symbol of the resilient spirit that resonated throughout the galaxy. His stories were shared in schools, festivals, and intergalactic conferences, inspiring beings to reflect on their own environments and rise to meet their challenges head-on. By reimagining what it meant to thrive in adversity, the human's presence had not only changed the perception of his species, but also planted the seeds of resilience across the cosmos. The once feared Deathworlders now stood as a beacon of hope and possibility, proving that even the harshest conditions could give rise to extraordinary strength and creativity.